We don't even know who we are. We don't even know if we're God's chosen people. We don't know who God's chosen people is. But let me show you something. Give me Isaiah chapter 1 verse 5. Isaiah chapter 1 verse 3. Give me Isaiah chapter 1 verse 3. Because we don't know who we are and we don't consider who we are. Read.
The book of Isaiah chapter 1 verse 3.
Bring it out.
The ox knoweth his owner, and the ass his master's crib.
So the Bible says the ox knows his owner and the ass his master's crib. Meaning, if an ox or what we call a donkey, if he wanders from his house, he knows how to get back to his home.
Right.
Read.
The ox knoweth his owner, and the ass his master's crib.
So if the ox was removed from his master's crib, he knew how to find his way back with no problem. But read.
But Israel doth not know.
But Israel do not know. We don't know how to get back to our master. We don't know how to get back to the Most High God. We don't know how to get back. Read.
My people doth not consider.
So the children of Israel, God's chosen people, they do not consider that they are the children of God. We don't consider that God is our God. We don't consider that. Why don't we consider that? Go ahead, give me what you got. Why we don't consider that? This is one of the reasons why we don't consider that, because we never think about this right here. Read.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe, to do all his commandments and his statutes which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
So if we don't do his commandments, all these curses shall come upon us and overtake us. Hold that. Give me Deuteronomy chapter 7 verse 6. Because remember, I want to show y'all why we don't consider. This is what we don't consider. This is what, read.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 7, verse 6.
Bring it out.
For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God.
So we don't consider that we are holy people to the Lord thy God. We don't consider that we are precious to the Most High God. Read.
The Lord thy God hath chosen thee.
We don't consider that the Most High God chosen us. Read.
To be a special people unto himself.
So we don't consider or think that the Most High chose us to be a special people unto himself. We don't think that. Read. They got something else.
Above all people that are upon the face of the earth.
So we don't consider that he chose us to be people unto himself, that he chose us to be above all people upon the face of the earth. Right. We never consider. Why we don't consider? Go back to Isaiah chapter 1 verse 5. Read verse 4, I think. That's what I want. Verse 4, start right there. Because this is why we don't consider. Read.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 1, verse 4.
Bring it out.
A sinful nation.
This is why we are a sinful nation. We commit sin. We are a sinful nation. Read.
A people laden with iniquity.
A people laden with iniquity. Look in our community. Look what goes on in our community. The Bible says thou shalt not kill, but it's killed. We have drug dealing. We have all kind of different things in our neighborhoods that's destroying us. So we don't consider none of this, because when we come back home, we see violence, we see drugs, we see gang violence, we see all these things. So we're like, in our mindset, we can't be God's chosen people. Look how bad it is for us. Read.
A seed of evildoers, children that are corrupters, they have forsaken the Lord. They have provoked the Holy One of Israel unto anger.
So this is what's going on. By us being a sinful nation, that people that's laden with sin, we provoke the Holy One to anger. And what happened when we provoke the Holy One to anger? What happened? Give me that in Deuteronomy 28. What happened when we provoke the Holy One to anger? This is what happened. Hey, my brother. Hey, check this out. Hey, my brother. What did we do to provoke the Holy One to anger? How did we provoke the Holy One to anger, my brother? Huh? Give me that Hosea with you finna get hold of Deuteronomy. This is how we provoke the Holy One to anger. I'm going to show you something. Tell me, sir, if this goes on in our neighborhood. Read. For one.
Verse 1. Hear the word of the Lord, ye children of of Israel. For the Lord hath a controversy with the inhabitants of the land.
So the Bible says the Lord has a controversy with the inhabitants of the land.
Right.
Read.
Because there is no truth, nor mercy, nor knowledge of God in the land.
So it says there's no truth, or no mercy, or no knowledge of God in the land.
Right.
We don't have mercy with one another. If we look at one another wrong, we want to destroy one another.
Right.
If we do anything, the slightest mishap, it could be a misunderstanding, we're ready to destroy one another. Read.
Right.
Teacher.
By swearing.
But it's swearing going on in our community, sir. Read.
And lying.
There's lying going on. Hey, sirs. There's lying going on in our community.
And killing.
And killing goes on in our community. Read.
And stealing.
And stealing. This provoked the Holy One to anger. Read.
And committing adultery.
And committing adultery. So we got adultery going on in our community. Read.
They break out and blood toucheth blood.
Then the Bible says they break out and blood touches blood, which is called black on black violence when all this going on in our neighborhoods. Hey, my brother. Hey, my brother. With the white t-shirt, let me show you something right quick. Come check this out. I want to ask you a question. When you look at our people, do you think we're blessed or cursed? As a whole. Yeah, as a whole. We may have some that's doing better than others, but I'm talking about as a whole.
I think we're blessed.
You think, why are we blessed?
We're alive.
Yeah, but look at our living conditions. You call that blessed?
That part of it will be cursed.
So that's a curse. So when you say the majority, even say like with Oprah, LeBron James, they've got multi-millionaires, billionaires, but they still get called niggas. So is that?
Right.
So are we all? What is that? That's a curse.
We still cursed.
Because we still got to go through those same conditions. Watch. Let me show you something. Read that from the top again. Hosea, watch this. Tell me if this is a blessing. This is what goes on in our neighborhood. Tell me if this is a blessing or a curse. Read.
Hosea chapter 4 verse 1. Hear the word of the Lord, ye children of Israel. For the Lord hath a controversy with the inhabitants of the land.
So the Most High God has a controversy with the inhabitants of the land. Why does he has a controversy with the inhabitants of the land? Watch. Read.
Because there is no truth nor mercy.
So in our community, is there truth? Or do we have mercy with one another? Read.
Nor knowledge of God in the land.
Do we have a true knowledge of God in the land? Read.
By swearing.
So do we swear in our community? Read.
And lying.
Do we lie to one another in our community?
And killing.
Does killing go on in our community?
And stealing.
Does stealing goes on in our community?
And committing adultery.
And committing adultery. Does adultery goes on in our neighborhood? And that goes into fornication. Men sleeping with women, making babies, and just sleeping women for the hell of it because they know they can run game and get it. That goes into all that. Read.
They break out, and blood toucheth blood.
Now it says now they break out and blood toucheth blood. So now they break out. Now is what they call black on black violence.
Right.
So we kill one another.
Right.
So the Bible said the Most High God has a controversy against us, against the inhabitants of the land. Why? Because we are committing these sins one to another. You understand that? So is that a blessing or a curse? That's a curse.
Right.
So what can we do to fix this? How do we do that? Huh? Get close to God? Okay. Yeah. How do we get close to God? Read the Bible, go to church. Watch it. Let me show you something first. Do you know what sin is? What is sin?
Something bad.
Get sin. First, we got to know what sin is first. Because when we read to you, it was sins that separated us from the Most High God to where he has a controversy against us. Read.
The book of 1 John chapter 3 verse 4. Whosoever committeth sin transgresseth also the law.
So it said, whosoever committed sin transgresseth also the law. Read.
For sin is the transgression of the law.
So sin is the transgression of the law. So when we sin, we are breaking God's law. So when the Bible says thou shalt not kill, but is murder in our neighborhood, guess what? We are breaking God's law, and he has that controversy against us. So let me show you. what we're dealing with, the reason why our neighborhoods are like it is. Go to Deuteronomy 28 now. I want to show you something. Watch this, because we said we was cursed, right? So now watch, the Bible gonna show you why we're cursed. Read.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 15.
Bring it out.
But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God.
So it says it's going to come to pass. This is surely going to happen if we don't hearken, if we don't listen to the voice of the Lord thy God, which is keeping his commandments.
Right.
To observe, to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day.
So he said this is going to happen to us if we don't do all his commandments and his statutes what he commands us, right? So if we don't keep the commandments, this is going to happen. Read.
That all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
So all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. Meaning when we don't keep his commandments, these curses are going to come upon us and overtake us, right? So now we're going to show you some of those curses. Read.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships.
So the Bible says the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships. Hold that one. Give me verse 44.
Bring it out.
Give me verse 44. Go up one more.
Verse 43. The stranger that is within thee shall get up above thee very high.
So watch, I want to show you a curse. It says the stranger that is within thee will get up above thee very high, right? Meaning they're going to have strangers in your neighborhood that's going to own businesses. That's going to get up high above you. Watch. Read.
And thou shalt come down very low.
So we were supposed to be high, but strangers going to get above us. Read.
He shall lend to thee, and thou shalt not lend to him.
So it says these strangers going to come up in your neighborhood. He's going to lend to you, but you're not going to lend to him. Who owns this store right here? A stranger, right? So he's in your neighborhood. He lending to you, meaning he's selling to you, but you can't sell to him.
Right.
So this is a curse in the Bible. Where is our stores in our neighborhood? If a brother do have a store in our neighborhood, the store look crappy. He got about 10 items on the shelf. There's not much going on in the store. But if another nation has a store, that store is thriving. Why? Why is that? Read.
He shall be the head, and thou shalt be the tail.
So the Bible says he shall be the head, thou shalt be the tail, meaning you're going to go to him for everything. Everything you want, you're going to go to him. Read.
Moreover, all these curses shall come upon thee, and shall pursue thee.
So all these curses is going to come upon thee and pursue thee. Give me verse 48. So that's a curse, my brother, for us to have to go to another nation. He come in our neighborhood and he get above us and we get low. Guess what? That same person in that nation, he'll let you stand by his store all day long, drink. As long as you drinking, buying alcohol, he don't tell you nothing. You could be drunk. They could be drunk passing out. But as long as they spending money and they bumming and people giving them money, he allow that. The minute somebody want to say, hey, man, that's not right. Hey, brothers, pick yourself up. Y'all children of the Most High God. They get mad. What they do? They want to run you away, right? So you don't see nothing wrong with that picture. They want to keep you in sin because guess what? They know who you are. Read verse 40. Watch this.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 48. Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies.
So now the Bible says, because we're not obeying them commandments, therefore we shall serve our enemies. Who are we serving today? Who we serve today? Who do you think our enemies the Bible is talking about? Any other race? Good answer. Watch, read this.
In hunger.
So we're going to serve our enemies in hunger. So when we want food, who do we have to go to? Who own Walmarts? Who own Publix? Who own Costco's? Who own all these stores? If we want something to eat, where we got to go? Read.
And in thirst.
If you want water in your house, who you got to go to? You can't. You go to somebody that look like you. Read.
And in nakedness.
You want clothes, who do you go to? Somebody else, right? So the Bible is showing that this is a curse. We got to go to other nations for everything. Read.
And in want of all things.
If you want a license, a birth certificate, a death certificate, even a place to live, who you got to go to?
Somebody else.
You got to go to another nation. So you was right when you said all these other nations, but why we're serving these other nations? Because we disobeyed God's commandments. Read.
And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck.
He's talking about this enemy right here. He shall put a yoke of iron upon our neck. So who this happened to? Who put a yoke of iron upon our neck? Right, but guess what? This is the transatlantic slave trade. But guess what? In a sub-Saharan slave trade, we also had yokes of iron on our neck. Read. So the Arabs also and all the other nations had us in slavery as well. It wasn't just the white man. You see that, my brother? Read.
And he shall put, and in want of all things, and he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck.
So he'll put a yoke of iron upon thy neck. Read.
Until he have destroyed thee.
Until he have destroyed thee. So they will put these yokes of iron upon our necks until we was destroyed, until we agree with their doctrine. Y'all ever watched the movie Roots? Guess what? When he was saying his name was Toby, did they keep the yoke of iron on his neck? That chain that they used to make him walk around with. When he was saying his name was Kunta, they kept it on his neck. But when he said his name was Toby, what they did? Why? Because he accepted the condition he was in.
Right.
He accepted that. So guess what? That's the same thing they did with us. He was destroyed. He was dead and destroyed them. Read.
The Lord shall bring a nation against thee from...
So we understand that this is how we was mentally destroyed. That's when they took those chains off our necks. Give me verse 68. Watch, I want to show y'all something else. Watch this. I want to show y'all. Pay attention to this. Because watch how the Bible show you this history right here. It's been in the Bible. Read that.
And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships.
So the Bible says, and the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt, meaning Most High God was going to bring us into Egypt. You ever heard of the children of Israel being in Egypt in the time of Moses? What were they doing in Egypt? You don't know? You don't know? I'm going to show y'all what they was doing. Read that.
The book of Exodus, chapter 20, verse 2.
Bring it out.
I am the Lord thy God, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage.
So the children of Israel was in bondage to the Egyptians. So what's another word for bondage? Slavery. Yeah. So that's what the Bible is showing you. We was already in slavery in Egypt at one time. So now he says you're going to go into slavery again. But this time, read it one more time.
And the Lord, Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt.
So the Lord shall bring you into slavery again
with ships.
With ships. So how did we come to America? Ships. So the Bible just said because we disobeyed God's commandments, we will go into slavery again on ships. What's that? That's a cargo slave ship.
Right.
This is the routes where they can't get us from Africa and brought us to the Americas.
Right.
You see that? So the Bible told us what was going to happen to us. Read.
By the way that whereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again.
So the way how he said it was going to happen, it happened. You never seen, who else went into slavery on cargo slave ships? The white man? The Arab man? The Chinese man? Right. Just the so-called black Hispanics and Native Americans. God, the Israelites, God's chosen people, that's it. Read.
In there ye shall be.
Hold on, oh, watch, pay attention to this. Now remember, he said we was gonna go into slavery on cargo slave ships. Watch what happened to us. Once we get on those cargo slave ships, remember, we get on the ships, we in the water. Watch what happened when we get off that water. Read.
In there ye shall be sold unto your enemies.
So it says there, once we get off that boat, look right here. Auction block. There we shall be sold to our enemies. So once we got off that boat, we were sold to our enemies. The Bible is showing you the history. The Bible is showing you what happened to our people. Once we got off them boats, look, right here. We were sold to our enemies right there. Look, even in the sub-Sahara, even in the transatlantic slave trade, same thing. We were sold to our enemies. Read that.
For bondmen,
for slave men. Look at we got our men.
And bondwomen. and women.
And we got our women. So they sold men and women. They sold us both. It wasn't just men. And our kids, because you can see even on this, they got children.
Right.
Read.
And no man shall buy you.
And no man shall buy you, meaning no man shall redeem you. Martin Luther King tried to redeem us. Marcus Garvey tried to redeem us. What I'm showing my brothers, hey, my brother, we went into slavery on cargo slave ship. This happened to the Israelites. This happened to God's chosen people. So, my brother, again, is that a blessing or a curse? That's a curse. Now the question is, what do we have to do to get out of this curse? Because guess what? It ain't just one person. We curse as a nation.
Right.
It's a nation of people. Guess what? So what must we do as a nation to come from under this curse? Is slavery over, but mentally we're still slavery. Why? What's your last name?
Paul.
Huh?
Paul.
Paul, right? Where you got that name from? Isaiah 65:15. Where you got that name from?
Slavery.
Huh? So guess what? When what you said your last name was? Paul. Guess what? That means you was property of that slave master.
Right.
So guess what? We still call ourselves property of those slave masters. We even have celebrations called a family reunion, or I'm a Johnson, or I'm a Jenkins. We having a family reunion honoring that man that had us in slavery, recognizing that we are his property. Look what happened to us. Read that.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 65, verse 15.
Get out.
And ye shall leave your name for a curse.
We left our name for a curse. What is that curse? The curse of being called Paul, the property of Master Paul. That's what we left our name for, a curse. What was our name before though? Who were we before? What was our name before that? Because guess what? We had a name before we was called Paul, before we was called Johnson, before we was called Martin, before we was called Lindy, before we was called any other name, Duncan. Read.
The book of Genesis, chapter 32, verse 28. And he said, thy name shall be called no more Jacob, but Israel.
So it says, thy name shall be called no more Jacob, but Israel. That was our name. But watch, read. What does Israel mean? Read.
For as a prince hast thou power with God.
So Israel mean as a prince, meaning we are princes. We are the sons of God. We have power with God. We are the sons of God. That's what that means. So guess what?
Right.
When we took on Paul name, Martin, whatever Jenkins, whatever last name, when we took that on, we left our name for a curse.
Right.
What is a nation? Nation is men leading by example. Nation is family. Nation is community. Nation is children with role models. Nation is unity. Nation is you.
And finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord. His word, his word, his word.